All right, y'all. Welcome to the group chat where Josiah and I are going to break down week 4, break down the Seahawks game, break down the NFC West. Okay, first of all,
Yes,
timeout.
sir.
Can I just let you know that I was risking my life watching this game because my building's fire alarm went off. Fire alarm went off in the middle of the fourth quarter, and I was like, oh, hell no. And my dog even started howling because she knew what was up too. And last time this happened, like literally last week, one of my neighbors was like, I didn't even go outside. So I was like, okay, until I smell smoke, I am not going outside. I was literally inside for probably like 10, 15 minutes. And then I opened my door and I was like, okay, I smell a little bit of smoke. I should go outside.
Yeah.
But the game had me stressed per usual. I was sweating. I was stressed. Oh my God, our Seahawks. Granted, they did look good. I feel like there was lots of positives in this game and lots for us to like learn. But now we are 3-1. We're 3-1. Should we talk about defense first? Do you want to break down the defense? Give my thoughts. Do you want your
Hold
thoughts or
up.
my
I'm not
thoughts?
going to let you. Hold on. I got
Oh,
to
sorry,
elaborate
sorry.
on that story a little bit. Okay. So, Alex, Money Mike, myself were on a thread. And she's like, guys, my smoke alarm is going off. I can't leave the game. I was like, you're crazy. I was like, she goes, I'm just going to wait till I smell smoke. I was like, that might be too late if you smell smoke. Anyways,
One of
uh,
my friends was like, "Leave the door open, the firefighters will find you." And I was like, "That's
oh
actually a good
God.
idea."
I think I said the last thing I said at the end of the game when the clock hit 0. I was like, I think I'm going to start a fire in my house right now.
Yeah.
Now that the game's over, man, that was the kind of mood I was in a little
Oh
bit.
my
So that
god,
was
yeah.
actually funny.
No,
But
good.
yeah, let's hit home on defense first today. I mean, I think it's no secret
Oof.
that that's I think that was where that if there was any little bit of a what do you call it, a weak link. Well, yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead. I'll say it later.
No, say it right now. Say it right now. Don't.
Okay, I feel like Jaron Reed heard us the last podcast because what did we say we needed from the big man? A dance
He has
move.
a big
We
old
needed a
yeah.
dance move. Jaron Reed got that sack one in the first quarter. Yes, and he gave us some body rolls.
That
Very
Michael
taste
Bennett.
Very tasteful body rolls, if you will. Okay, go ahead, sorry. I just thought of that
Uh,
really
I
quickly.
think I think I actually heard him say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He was thrusting. He liked that thrust.
yeah." Defense. Okay. In a nutshell, I'll say this: um, the guys, the injuries, you could definitely feel their presence being missed big time. I mean,
Mm,
especially Leo Williams. I mean, when
yep,
you have Leo Williams and you got Hankins and you got Murphy and you got John Reed, just got those big bodies who are
yep.
strong and fast, like we were talking about last week.
Mhm.
Rotating, keeping fresh legs, and that's huge. You could feel it when they were gone because this, if you think about how it all unfolded, what did they start hitting us with first? How did they really start killing us?
Their run game.
The run game, and it was
Their
right
run
up
game.
the gut. Really, that was just getting us. Those there were big runs up the gut. I call those body blows.
Yeah.
You just hit them to the body, hit them to the body, and then the defense. We gotta play honest defense. And
Mhm.
then they hit you with the knockout punch. The only thing is our offense didn't get knocked out. They kept getting up and fighting back. So everybody
Right.
loves a high scoring game, but that's kind of
Right.
where I started to notice, that was our Achilles tendon at the beginning of the game. And honestly, I was actually surprised that they didn't go back to the run throughout the game. Like
Oh,
they
they were
just let
killing us
Jared
in the
Goff do his
run.
thing. Yeah.
Right.
The
Jared Goff did his
beginning.
thing. I think it was embarrassing when I got to the point. I mean, Jared Goff was what, 18 for 18, so we didn't stop
Mhm.
that. And then he
Wow.
also got a receiving touchdown. Like,
That
that moment, I was like, "What is that did not just happen." Who threw it to him? St. Brown
it was St. Brown. Yep.
yeah, St. Brown threw the
St. Brown.
ball,
Yep.
and Jared Goff caught it, and our dude, number 50, come on, you're wearing number 50. You gotta represent that number a little bit better, man.
What did I say on our
Oh,
thread? I
Jared
say
Goff was
KJ's running. Who the hell's wearing my jersey? Dragging that through the mud right now. Nah, it's a trick play.
Atlanta.
It's a trick
Right.
play. I'll give him that. You know, you get that's a one off. I think the biggest thing
Very.
was when they started just taking those body blows to us up the middle. I mean, it's like
Right.
the old Carroll scheme. You control the clock, you set the tempo with the run, and then you just bloop plop over the top, you know, on a play action. And you think about, oh my gosh, okay, I could go so far into this. I
Mhm.
spoke to, you know what, Derek Hall, he's a baller, okay.
Mhm.
But I saw a little flashback of yesterday, what I was talking about last year. I saw a little flashback last night where that run in the beginning started making people undisciplined and they start cheating a little bit. And what I mean by
Mm.
that is where there's something called gap assignments. He's in a five technique, which is C gap outside shoulder of the tackle. And he's attacking that shoulder and supposed to hold his gap. And when he started to cheat in, oh, they're run up the middle. He'd cheat in. And
Mm.
then what happened? The run bounced out. The tight end with the second tight end, because they had two tight ends on this side, would seal off the
Right.
linebacker, boom, 20 plus yard run. And I'm like, damn, if I saw that from up top, I would probably attack that. Not even 2 plays later, other side, same thing, attacks the outside shoulder, tries to cheat inside, and it ends up being another play action where the tight end releases outside and Jared Goff rolls out to his right, little bootleg, and then dumps it off to the tight end for another 20, 30-yard run. And so he's losing what you call his containment right there, keeping everything inside. So it's just little stuff like that. The last one,
Right.
the was it Jamison Williams, where he ran a little drag route behind the linebackers. This is one of those plays where the power of the run game starts to take its effect. So what they did is play action, hand it off. They already kicked our ass in the run in the first half. What happens is the linebackers, where they normally take a read step, maybe even stay stationary for a second, but they might take one read step backwards or lateral. They take a step forward, thinking that they're going to run the ball. Jameer Gibbs dips right behind them, little dump off, boom, gone for another 70-yard tug. You know, so those are just things where if I'm sure if you ask any linebacker, if any
No.
receiver is crossing your face and you're within that 5 yard line, you're supposed to put your forehead in his ear hole, you know, and knock him off his track. So
Mm.
I think that it'll be huge. I really love that the depth really showed itself. I think that there's a lot of learning from this game especially on the defensive
Right.
side of the ball.
Right.
And I honestly just think we did really good. The undisciplined plays led to big play offense, you know. So we
Right.
stop him, boom, 70-yard touchdown, stop him, 40-yard run. I'm like, damn, they just keep getting the
Yeah.
big play right now. So
Yeah.
that's my take on the D right now.
Yeah, we couldn't get a stop. Obviously, the guys in the front for our defense were struggling a little bit, which created the secondary to sometimes they just look so lost. Why were people wide open at some point? You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, but time out. That run that Montgomery did, and he just, you know what I'm talking about. It was
Yeah,
like
we call
Witherspoon, just like he just absorbed Witherspoon, and the Witherspoon just went drop, and I was like, what just happened?
what
Oh
happened is
my
he just made
god.
somebody's highlight reel right there.
Oof.
He made
Yeah.
the highlight reel on ESPN. You know, I think it's Good Morning America, Good Morning Football. They do a segment where it's like a angry run and the angry run of the week or something like that.
Oh, that
Um,
was it.
eh, yeah,
Fuck, that
Ooh.
was it. Oh my god. I was like, "Oof. Okay."
I've
But
had
yeah,
my I've had my bell rung. I know it's embarrassing. I've had my bell rung like that, but you know what? I did not get up as fast as he did, and
I
I
was
was
gonna
actually
say, he finished the play, so
he
I
sure
was
did.
like, "Okay."
That's what you call heart right there, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of heart, that's probably the last thing. The biggest difference is last night. What I loved, what was really encouraging, despite the defensive mishaps that we had, they showed effort was something they never were lacking. They showed a
Right.
ton of heart and a ton of effort, whether they're getting gassed or not. I think that was probably one of my biggest frustrations last year. Is like there were some guys I just felt like weren't. There were definitely some athletes out there, obviously some speed, some hitters, but there wasn't that second, third level effort that you saw last night. You know, guys, they got their
Right.
asses whipped on the mental side of things, but they were just going, they were screwing up 100 miles per hour, which I love that. If you're gonna
Mhm.
screw up at 100 miles per hour. So
Oh,
can't
yeah.
you can't teach that.
I totally agree, and obviously, like, we have a lot to learn, and hopefully next week when we play the Giants, some of our guys can come back healthy, and especially our defensive guys, we need them. We need Leonard, we need all those other guys. Was Boye Mafe
Yeah,
out too? Mafe was
he
out
was out.
too. So many of our big hitters were out, and that definitely played a role, but obviously, like, I mean, we played the Lions. I feel like we
Mhm.
played well. Obviously, there was some big plays that converted into points for the other team. But yeah, going into our offense, I feel like our offense did fucking awesome. I feel like they killed it. Like, thank God Walker was back. Whatever they did to his oblique was obliquing because he was flipping. He was okay. I just want to say when we watch him play, I don't know if any of y'all have seen Steph Curry play in person, but to watch Steph Curry play in person is like it's almost like an art, you know? So to watch Walker run down the field, the way his feet move, the way he reacts, the way that he can read the field is insane. And it almost like looks like he's moving in slow motion. And I grew up as a ballet dancer, so I appreciate this so much. It's just, like, effortless, right? He makes it look so easy, but when you're around all those people, his reaction time has to be so fast, and most people will get tackled, but you just see him, like, dipping and diving and rolling, and I don't even know, he's jumping and jiving. He's doing a little dance move out there, but so happy to see him back. How many touchdowns did he have? 3?
He lit up somebody's fantasy football roster
Oh,
that
he
day
lit up
last night. Yeah,
somebody's
3 tutties, man. Good lord.
And that's where the effort was still too, and I really appreciated our offense. They didn't give up. They had the heart. They kept going. They kept grinding. They just didn't stop, and I think Mike McDonald said something, he's like, "We're gonna finish the game every single time because
Yeah,
that's what we
I love
do,"
that.
and I appreciate that so much as well. But yeah, our offense didn't look bad. We just had, that turnover with DK, right? That created a touchdown on the other side, so it was 14 to nothing right off the bat.
If you think about that, like to your
Mhm.
point, our offense did so well, and I hate saying this that there's a few things that happened that, in my opinion, changed the course of this game.
Right.
And I hate to say when you I don't like to put things on the refs. You know, I feel
Mhm.
like if you do your job, uh, whatever the scoreboard shows at the end of the day, that's just what it is. You never want to leave it up to the refs. But I swear to God, man, I was like, holy, there were
Mhm.
some calls and I'm like, yo, like
That
if I did
PI versus Lockett,
the
the
PI
both
versus Lockett,
I'm like, "What
major
was"
sus. The PI
Yeah,
versus, I mean, the dude damn near tackled DK in the end zone,
right,
um, in that corner, and then the 2 point conversion. And
right.
then, those are just things that are like out of your control that I just can't stand like that. And it was just poor, in my opinion. And I hate to say refs suck, but that was poor, sucky refing right there on those parts.
Yeah.
Um, and then here's my take on DK's fumble. There's a lot of people who'd be like, "Oh my God, DK just doing DK things, fumbling the ball."
Right.
Here's my thing: is this? Those are
What did you
like
sound like? Sorry.
fumbling the ball, DK just trying too
Right,
hard. His attitude
right.
sucks. He's always getting. First of all, I haven't seen any. My biggest thing was the last year. My biggest gripe about DK, if I had one, was the stupid mistakes of uh, personal fouls. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Last year,
Yes.
I
Being very
I don't know if he has
emotional.
one this year. Yeah, I don't know if I can think of one right now. But those effort plays, I'm never gonna fault somebody for effort.
No,
Um, the
no.
people who are saying DK's he needs to know when to go down. Yeah, tell a football player at that level to stop trying to push for more yards. And those are the same people that are yelling at Tyler Lockett for diving so he doesn't take a hit.
Right.
God, Tyler
Right.
Lockett's so soft. Why is he diving? Whatever. And I'm like,
Or these are the people that
eh,
never played football a day in their life.
facts.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
say it. I'm just saying
what
it.
is
I'm just
it?
saying it.
That's facts. I mean,
I
at
mean,
least
it's true.
competitive.
Yeah,
How do
right.
you say I've never played a competitive sport without actually saying I've never played a competitive sport before? Yeah. Fair
That
weather people.
that's
I might have stole that line from Lofa right there. But
But yeah, there wasn't, like, one play that completely, like, made the Seahawks lose the game. It was, like, obviously, it's a team effort, our off but
mhm.
I wanna give lots of credit to our offense because they did well, like, as bad as I mean, not as bad, but as much as we talk about our O-line and how much we need to change and work it out, and they need better O-line coverage. I feel like Geno's adjusting too, right? His release time for passing the ball has become quicker. He's starting to read it, but he still needs a little bit more time. I swear he gets like what, like 1.5 seconds, and then the
Yeah.
ball is out. But I mean,
Golly.
he gets
And
sacked a
that's
lot, and I mean, there's just so much pressure. And I mean, we played against what's his name on the Lions? I mean, they're constantly rushing, who's like
Aiden
Hutchinson,
Hutchinson.
like yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? And I think to play against that defense too, I feel like we did a pretty damn good job, honestly. And I
Hmm.
think it was like what, the first actual super competitive team that we played. And I mean, it's the fourth
To,
game of the season.
to go into that stadium and put up that type of fight with the type of injuries you had,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It was a sucky to always lose, but I actually this is one of those losses where I actually feel really encouraged about
Hmm.
the team overall after the
Right.
game.
Right.
There's losses we've had last year like God we suck, man. I mean
Right.
that's on I feel like that's any sport, but this is just one of those ones where there's far more good things that I took away from this than the obvious bad things. So
Yeah. I
no,
felt the same.
I'm with you 100% on that.
I felt the same, and, like, our depth too with our receivers, our running backs, and our tight ends is so great, like, everybody contributed, and, our rookie, who's a Barner, he got a
Hmm.
touchdown, he was super happy, did a little TikTok dance in the celebration. I wonder how many times he practiced that, but it was great. It was awesome. He contributed. Of course, we got Lockett, DK, Charbonnet. Great to have Walker back. So I don't know. I'm feeling good about our offense. I mean, obviously our O line needs to step it up a little bit more or a lot a bit more, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah, and here's something that
Mhm.
is like a rule of thumb for me when you have a quarterback that's as surgical as Geno Smith is. When you see Geno take the ball, obviously they snap the ball, whether he's in the gun or he's under center, when he has the time to drop back and take his gather steps before he releases, I just assume that there's a big completion about to take place because he dropped back and he threw the ball in rhythm. When quarterbacks throw in rhythm, that means that everything is like all the timing is just happening right. Well, we
Mhm.
can't see the receiver in mid route, but you just know that when you step back, gather, throw, they're exactly where they're supposed to be at. And I'm like, oh
Right.
yes, here comes a big throw. And lo and behold, it's like almost every single time, he was
Mhm.
just lacing them in there. And
Mhm.
then the thing that I'm more impressed about is when, like you said, when he has the defense all up in his face. Holy
Right.
smokes! I saw I saw Stone Forsythe. Bless his heart, man. He did his thing. I did not know Aiden Hutchinson. First of all, was 6'7". Did you know that? That boy is
I did
six
not know that.
seven. For somebody who is that tall,
And can move like that.
can move like that. You
Uh-uh.
know, I think of
Scary.
Calais Campbell is 6'7", and he's
Okay.
just a big old just freaking beat your ass, just muscle you. This dude has got so much speed. He'll bull rush you. He'll freaking spin inside. I was like, oh my god, look at him go! And poor
Right.
Forsyth, he did his best, but there was one play where Hutchinson literally put Forsyth turned him around somehow. So he's like face to face with Geno Smith,
Oh
and
my god.
Geno's like couldn't even release it all the way. And I'm like, yo, Geno's dope, man. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. To be able to do that still.
Geno's killing it. And was that sorry, we were talking about stats before, and that was the most throws he's had in a game. What was his stats for that? Do you have that on?
Yeah.
I don't have
Um,
it.
I think he had. I just know that I think he had 54, 56 attempts, which is insane. I don't know the last quarterback that had that many attempts in a game in Seattle in a West Coast offense. You know,
Right.
West Coast offense is typically heavy run, control the
Yep.
clock, stout defense, limit turnovers, and then manage the game as a quarterback. No, Geno was out there just control. He was general in the whole thing, man, and throwing the ball with major confidence and
Mhm.
fluidity. I think the coolest stat though is that he is number one right now in
Mm.
overall passing yards. That's I don't know. I don't know that I can even think back if Russell Wilson ever had that type of. He always had high completion percentages, which is also very good efficiency, but
Right.
overall yards is dope. And then I
Mhm.
think the other one where it was here's I think the thing that's most exciting to me about the offense. I don't remember the last time I said that we have an explosive offense. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
Like you always had beast mode, run the ball,
Right.
body blows, and then some play, and then use the play action. Pretty much what Detroit did to us in the first half of the game.
Right.
Play off of play action. So, but geez, DK is um,
Right.
top three in overall receiving yards. He's
Crazy.
tied for second in catches 20 yards plus. He's tied for second in catches 40-yard plus like gains. These are big plays, and then I don't even have to talk about K9 how many big plays he has, and a lot of times he's making those big plays out of nothing. What should have been a 2-yard loss
Right.
somehow figures out how to turn it into a 30+ yard gain of some
Right.
sort. He's crazy. I love him. I love
It
watching
was
him.
so fun. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I felt very good about this game even though we lost because it's still early in the season. We
Yeah.
know what we need to work on and they just need to get to it. It's a short week for them going into week 5. We got the Giants on Sunday at home
Hmm.
and like we said last week, we can't play down. Like the Giants haven't been doing super well. But we can't play down. Like, we need to use this as a game for us to improve every single aspect of the game. And with that, should we go talk about the NFC West? Shall we?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think, well, if we're going to pause on the Giants, I think the biggest thing, obviously, we never want to play down, which I know you and I were talking about this. It seems like Seattle in the past has played down to the opponents.
Yeah.
But I think it's really encouraging that Malik Neighbors is, I hope he has a speedy recovery, but that concussion he suffered down, there's a difference between like a hard hit, now you got a concussion, and then when you got hit and you're face down, ass up, motionless on the sidelines. Like I
Right.
was like, okay, he's gonna be gone at least 2 weeks. So if he ain't back this week, that's huge for Seattle. And I imagine we get out ahead early. So if you have like your backups, like if you have Zach Charbonnet on your fantasy, you might want to. They might try to sit out K9 and run Zach Charbonnet, control that clock throughout the game.
Mm.
Just little
A little
fantasy football
fantasy tip,
expertise,
if
you
you
know.
will, if you
Well, so
didn't
I'm
know.
just three and one, that's all. So
You're
I know.
3 and 1. I am 1 and 3. I'm the opposite. So I don't
Uh,
want to talk about it. I don't
are
want
you
to
in
talk.
last? What does last place get in your league?
2 people are 0 and 4, and it is not me. And it's funny
Okay.
because my girlfriend Chanel is, winning, or she is actually, there's 2 people that are 4 and 0 in our league. Chanel is, like, in 2nd place apparently, but when we
Okay,
were
Chanel.
drafting
Shout out
okay,
Chanel.
Chanel, get it, Shanizi. She drafted 3 quarterbacks, and we're like, "Chanel, why did you draft" like, totally clowning on her, but now she's kicking our ass, so I'm not gonna say anything. So, draft 3 quarterbacks, and you'll start to win your fantasy
Well, you know
football.
what? She might have. There's the people who drafted like Caleb Williams, thinking he was gonna do well, and then
So
she
many
might be like,
people.
"Hey, look at one of them. I got 3 quarterbacks over here. You need one of these,
Right.
So
I know.
okay,
Shout out Chanel. All right, let's go NFC West. Let's talk about the
let's do it.
Niners. Niners are 2 and 2. I had the privilege or not privilege of going to the game on Sunday in San Francisco against the Patriots. Got to see
Were you
our
wearing Seahawk gear? Tell us about that. Were you wearing Seahawk
okay.
gear? Were you wearing
I
Niner gear? What were you wearing?
So I initially went down to do some content for Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce. If you haven't had Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce, what are you doing? So I was doing content at the tailgate and just like going around and testing it. So I usually wear like pretty neutral colors, like black and white. So I wore like a white tank top and black overalls. I did wear red shoes though, and Natty was like, "Ooh, look at you wearing Niners colors." I was like, "No, these are Bachan's colors because Bachan's bottles are red." Okay.
Okay, Bachan.
So I was not wearing Seahawks clothes because I would not see the light of day getting out of that place. But so I usually just
Come
wear like neutral
on.
colors. I know, but if when the Seahawks play the Niners, I definitely will be wearing Seahawks.
KJ&G would always say, "You ain't." They would say, "You ain't loyal to the soil.
I am. I wish
You ain't
State
out here. You ain't representing. You ain't keeping it real."
Oh, every
No, I'm
other
just
day
kidding.
I
I'm
am
messing with
though.
you. I'm messing with you.
I know, but it was fun. It
Yeah.
was so great to see KJ out there doing his thing. And, as much as I don't want to root for the Niners, they had a really, really good game. Bosa was back. He killed it. Fred Warner had an incredible game. When he had that pick six, KJ said that he was running down the sideline and he almost fell. So it's just kind of cool to see him in a different element. Obviously, we would want him to be with another team, but that's just a whole nother topic. But
When I saw Fred Warner get that pick, I was like, yeah.
yeah, right. You're like, it's the linebackers. You're like
Yeah, as
rooting
a
for the
linebackers.
linebackers.
Yeah.
Right. It's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Niners, they looked okay. I mean, we got players like Brandon Ayuk who just got paid and not doing very
And I got
well.
played.
And he got played and he's like being a little brat in practice. Like I heard, I don't know if you guys seen, but he was supposed to wear black shorts to practice one day. He wore red shorts. Kyle Shanahan had to talk to him. And then he took his shorts off in the middle of practice. The black shorts were on the ground, so I don't know why he just wasn't wearing those, and then he kicked the red shorts. So I'm like, just like, "What are you doing? Like, who do you think you are?" Like, people who like, like Christian McCaffrey and Bosa and, like, all those guys, they would never act like that after they got paid. I don't know. It's just, like, being a team player. Obviously, I don't know his, like, personal life or whatever is happening, but, like, yeah, I don't know. What's going on with Brandon? Do you think he's just, like
I was going to ask you, what do you do when you're in your work setting? Because this is their job. Play football and get
Right,
paid lots and lots of money to put their bodies on the line and entertain us every week in and week out. But when you're in your line of work and you see somebody who's a leader in your space, whether it's an office or a warehouse, and you see them
mhm,
acting like that, how do you? And I'm sure maybe you can think of somebody right now, Alex. But
right,
when you see a leader in your workspace acting like that, prima donna ish, diva
right.
ish, like throwing fits. What do you feel like when you see that? Do you feel like they have the right to do that? Do you feel like, oh, I want to
No,
go take
nobody
them?
has the right to do that. Nobody has the right to act like they're better than other people, whether you are the CEO or whether you are, like the owner of your company, you don't act like that because nobody wants to be around that. And that's just going to create such like a toxic environment, I think. I mean, nobody wants to be around that.
Mm-hmm.
And most time if like, if you have like a manager or if you have a boss that's not your favorite person or hard to work with and it just isn't a good time to be around, like most of the time people are going to look for other jobs somewhere else. And so
Yeah,
I think,
I
it's like
think
you got to be a leader on your team and it's going to
yeah.
affect everybody.
There's the now in his defense. Okay, I will say this: he just got paid a shit ton of money, and I know there's
So,
there's a
and
level of expectation that he feels like he has to fulfill. Maybe he feels this way. I don't know, but
okay.
uh, I just feel like when you're a star player on your team and you're not getting the type of limelight like you're used to getting, especially with even not even just during the season, this whole off season, there's all these off season shenanigans going on with Brandon Ayuk. I
Right.
know it could get frustrating. Now that being said, that's all I'm going to give him right there.
Okay.
There's a saying where shit rolls downhill. Okay.
Mhm.
And this is one of those scenarios where I feel like if the coaching staff, and I'm going to say the coaching staff too, because we look back at this, Seattle team from the Legion of Boom era. There's everybody kind of has their sides of the story that you hear, whether it's
Mhm.
beast mode, Dougie
Mhm.
Baldwin, it's just whoever. Everybody's telling their story about what happened. People weren't being held accountable, and that was like
Mm.
the start of the unraveling or what so it seemed, So I just feel like if people don't nip that in the bud early right now, it's potentially going to start rolling downhill. And then
Right,
next thing you know, you have other people who are top players. Well, if he can get away with acting like that, shit, I don't want to wear these motherfucking shorts either. Excuse my
right.
language, but yeah, that's and then the new guys, the young guys, they're fun. It's just
Right.
leading by example, man. That's all it is. Not a fan of it at all. So
I feel like Kyle Shanahan is, like, kind of a no bullshit kinda guy, though, so I don't think a lot of that will fly, hence why everybody else was wearing black shorts and he was the only person wearing red shorts. I mean, just wear black shorts, dude, like, I don't see the big deal.
and you know what? To be honest, too, I think the Niners they come off as they have the type of players, individuals on their team where if they saw some shit like that happen, it's one of those. I'm
Mm,
gonna catch this fool in the locker room after practice, and
mm,
and,
right,
and set him straight too if the coaches aren't going to. So,
right.
and your eyes are really red. You're right. You got that sunburn on your eyes.
My eyes got
Man,
sunburned from sitting in the sun in Santa Clara. If you guys didn't know, so today in San Francisco, I live in the city, and it was 90 degrees in the city, and that's hot for San Francisco.
goddamn.
If you drive, like, an hour northeast or south, it's always at least 10 or 15 degrees hotter, so think about that.
Jeez.
So, the stadium is in Santa Clara, which is not in San Francisco. It's about 45 minutes, an hour south of San Francisco.
What's the temperature if you drive an hour west?
The ocean.
I'm just,
The
sorry,
ocean,
I couldn't
Josiah, oh my
resist. That's my dad. That's my dad jokes coming out. Your boy's
oh
a
my
dad of many.
gosh.
Sorry, I can't resist.
But yeah, I think my eyeballs got sunburned. It's definitely a thing. I Googled it, so don't look at me weird, y'all. Don't look at me weird. Anyways,
Sunburn, guys.
enough with Brandon Ayuk. I think the Niners look good. I think there's some stuff that they need to work around. Granted, they played the Pats, and it wasn't a great game for the Pats, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. Christian McCaffrey has what? Achilles tendonitis and both Achilles, so not
Both
just
legs. Yep.
one. So we don't know what's happening with that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just see if they can come together. But shout out to KJ. It was so good to see him and the family. Love them so much.
Yeah. I think Seattle. The timing of this game. I was watching G Scott his podcast last night, and he had Jackson Smith and Jigba's brother on there, and he said it perfectly. After a game like last night, where you fought hard, you actually, for the most part, minus a couple bonehead mistakes,
Mhm.
it was a good game, and you leave the game feeling hopeful.
Right.
This is a great game to come back to and bounce back on. Hoping that you play your asses off and you do what you should do against New York and blow them out of the water, because now you have that big confidence boost on top of that going into a game against San Francisco as they come to Seattle. So
Mm,
I think the lineup happened just perfectly. So
right. Right.
um, who said we didn't know nothing about football? You and I said we could possibly be like 6-1 6 weeks or 5-1 6 weeks in. 6-1
Right.
going into week 7. Hey,
Crazy. Okay, the Rams and Cardinals are both 1-3. Who did the Rams just play? I didn't see that.
oh
Oh my
gosh,
gosh, are we brain farting? We're having a brain fart. Who did the Rams just play? I don't know. Cardinals just got whooped though by the Commanders. Jalen Daniels is going off. Off.
you know,
God damn.
gosh, that boy,
Yeah.
he is special. That guy is special.
Yeah.
And the first week, second week, I'm like, okay, first week lucky, second week, okay, you got
Yeah.
lucky twice in a row. We're 4 weeks in now, and it's the real deal now. Now I'm gonna take this second to co-sign real quick. Sometimes I co-sign on people, but my cousins that live here or live up there in Seattle, Jack
Yeah.
and Tony, we have a cousin who's the quarterback coach over there in Washington, and his name's
Oh,
Tavita Pritchard. So we're like texting each other during the game. I was like, "Dang, Jaden Daniels, that boy is nice. He must have a really good quarterback coach." So,
shout
anyways,
out.
shout out
Shout out,
Tavita, man.
cousin.
Yeah, there you
Dang,
go.
cousin.
I
Put in
know,
work over there. But the Cardinals are playing the Niners next, so
and
but we'll
they're looking very Cardinal-ish right now too, man. Dang it.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like It's
They're
been
looking like the
years.
Cardinals.
It's been years.
Man,
But why do every time we play them, why do I get nervous? Am I
it's
the
one of
only
those.
one?
No, you're right. That's
Okay,
one of
thank
those
you.
ones where just where you talk about playing down.
Yeah.
That's one of those scenarios I feel like, we've done historically.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Yeah, NFC West. We're looking a little rough right now, but
it's still early. We're in a good spot. That's all I'm going to say about
yeah,
just the way the whole division is right now. Is like, thank
yeah.
God we came out 2-0, then 3-0, and now
Mhm.
we're still number one in the NFC West, which it's hard to be number three or number two in the NFC West, let alone number one. Especially in
Right.
this division where the
Right.
last 2 decades it's been arguably one of the harder divisions in the league. So
Right.
I think we're doing okay, but
All right. And then the only 2 teams that are undefeated are the Chiefs and the Vikings. How do we feel about that?
I can
The
only
Chiefs
talk.
almost lost to the Chargers. Like, come on, what is happening? What is
Okay,
happening?
there was a time where I hated the Patriots. I had a friend growing up where he was a nephew of Corey Dillon, and all we heard was, I was like, bro, you're from Seattle. How are you gonna like cheer for the Patriots? Say screw Seattle all the time, right? And
Mhm.
so I grew up hating the Patriots. But then it's just to the point where Tom Brady, man, he keeps winning and he keeps winning, and it's to the point where I was like, I found myself, ooh, maybe he can get a fourth ring. Come on, get the fourth ring, get the fifth ring. I'm like,
Right.
I'm starting to cheer for him. It's to the point now where I can only resist the Chiefs so much where and
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, where the dude, you just have to respect it. Look at his team, his offense, his weapons are just
Right.
deflated right now. Pacheco's out. They just lost Rashi Rice. Speaking of Rashi Rice, oh God, how I feel bad for Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
too. He knocked out his own player on that
Ugh,
one. But yeah, you
gosh.
just got to give the man his flowers, man. He just keeps on winning. He keeps on winning. Andy Reid, one my third favorite coach in NFL history, Andy Reid, man,
He's the GOAT.
he's a
Shout
winner,
out
man.
Andy Reid. Oh my
Yeah.
god, you're insane. I know, when I was at the Niners game, Natty and I kept checking the scores for other games, and I was like, "Oh my god, the Chargers are beating the Cardinals, or I mean the Chiefs," and then but we both look at each other, we're like, Patrick Mahomes still has, like, a 4th quarter
Yeah.
left. Like,
It's never over, man.
it's never over, especially for that man, so, I
Yeah,
mean
he's a winner. He's a winner and he knows how to win, which is what I love about the direction we're going right now. This Seattle is like we're starting off. There's the culture and the program and the schemes that Mike McDonald brought in, and they're winning. And so believe it or not, it's you can learn how to lose and you can learn how to win. There's people
Mhm,
in the league their whole careers have never been on a winning team, so they don't know what it's like to be a winner. So
mhm.
they're losers, and their teams they're losers. That's all their teams are losers. Sorry, that doesn't sound right, but still, yeah, it's like
Losers.
thank you. You said it. Okay,
Losers.
yeah. So I like that we're winning right now because they're learning
Yeah,
good habits and winning
yeah,
while doing it. So
right. I think we said this earlier, but the heart and just the drive and just you can see it in the team, and I think that's what makes it pretty hopeful for us this season is that they wanna win. Because when you watch some
mhm.
teams, you're like, "You don't want this. You don't wanna win. You are just not leaving it out on the field, and you're giving up." And it's like, yes, you can see the frustration in, like, Geno and a lot of the players' faces, but it's because they have heart and because they wanna win and because they know that they can win and they know that they're better than this.
Yeah. I had a teammate in college, and I'll keep his name anonymous, but the team he got drafted to, when he checked in as a rookie, and then all the players came in, not just the rookies, but all the veterans too. The head coach says, "Hey, I want all of you." I mean, this is me paraphrasing, but I want everybody to stand up real quick. Now, if you would play this game for free, meaning if you do it for free, obviously, you would assume that that
Mhm,
means you just love the game. You're playing because you love it, and you're going to give it your best effort and pour your heart out. If you would play this game for free, sit down. And everybody sat down, but the few people who were standing, they didn't have a job the next day. So
wow. I
yeah, they
mean,
got
that
released.
says a lot. Yeah, I mean,
It
it says a
does.
lot about somebody's character and, like, like you said, you have to work with these people. So you wanna work
Mhm,
with people who have your back, and if they're gonna be just working because they wanna make a ton of money,
mhm.
and they're not doing it because they love the game, that's tough. That's you can't trust them. You can't
Yep.
trust them, and
Can't
you need to
trust
trust
them.
your teammates.
Facts.
Ooh, I'm excited for week
Yeah.
5, y'all. I will actually be in Seattle at the game, so if any of you see me, say hi.
Jealous. I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Oh
I'll
my gosh,
definitely be
come
flying out there
through,
soon.
Josiah. Yeah.
Miss the
Oh my
city of
gosh.
Ray, man. I'm in the middle of the desert. We're in St. George, Utah, but we're actually moving to Las Vegas here in 2 weeks. We'll be over in the Summerland area, but we were just there today. Drove back. It's an hour and a half. Still 100 degrees. I'm like, God, sometimes I just miss that overcast, back in the
Right,
Northwest. So
right.
I'm jealous, but yeah,
I
we'll
can't
we'll make
wait.
it happen. We'll make it happen.
We will make it happen one day. Yeah, anything else you wanna touch on before we sign off?
No, that's it, man. Thankful for the opportunity to be here. I'm thankful that I get to talk football, whether it's with Alex or whether it's by myself. And someone's actually listened to this. I appreciate it, and I love you
Right.
guys. And yeah, that's all
Yes.
I got for you guys
Thanks. Thanks for all the love last week, everybody. We really
for
appreciate
sure.
it. We are enjoying doing this, and it's fun for us because, like we said, we both don't live in Seattle, but we're obviously huge Seahawks fans. We're from Seattle, so our heart and our souls are in that city. So to be able to do
Hmm.
this is freaking awesome, and we love it. So keep
Yes,
those
sir.
comments coming, keep supporting us, send it to all your friends, and let's keep that group chat going.
Let's get it going.
All right, y'all. We'll see you later.
You guys
Thanks
take
for
it easy.
listening. Bye.